Hi, good evening everyone. Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. At welcome to our Erev Shabbat live this Friday night. It's Shabbat Shalom to everyone that's watching us here in live stream from Facebook and later on our YouTube recording. So, magandang gabi ulit. Ngayon po, ang gabing ito ay Post-Veterans Day dito sa Amerika. And it says here, your courage gave us freedom. So, nagpapasalamat tayo sa lahat ng mga veterano na lumaban at especially doon sa mga nagbigay ng kanilang buhay. Nagpapasalamat tayo sa kanilang pamilya na yung ang kanilang mga kapamilya ay nagbigay sa atin ng kanilang buhay. Before we start our program, we will do the Shabbat medley. And again, Shabbat Shalom sa lahat ng mga nanonood. Meron pong apat na tao ang nanonood sa atin. Shalom to Brother Sam Gamino from St. Charles, Missouri. Shalom to you. And tonight, ngayong gabi, ang ating guest speaker ay ang ating paboritong guest speaker, si Elder Samuel Gamino. At of course, ngayon ay November 12, 2021. Kahapon po ay November 11. Dito po sa Amerika ay Veterans Day namin sa Amerika kahapon. And it says here, we don't know them all, but we owe them all. Thank you for your service, protection, and support. So, before we proceed to our program ngayong gabi, we want to give tribute to our veterans, ymcm.org way. So we will be playing another video, and this is our salute to all the veterans wherever they are. And this is our way of saying thank you for your service. Amen. And again, we salute those who serve in the armed forces of the United States of America. And here we are. So we will have a disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed by the guests in this program are those of the guest and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of ymcm.org or any of its affiliated ministries. And Tonight we would like to welcome Elder Samuel Gamino in our broadcast. Elder Gamino, can you hear us?
Yeah, thank you. I'm
All
here.
right. All right. Good evening. Magandang gabi, Elder Gamino. Kamusta
Good
po?
evening. Good evening to everyone. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Ah, kamusta ang ating weather diyan sa St. Charles sa inyong
Uh,
kinaroroonan?
it's getting colder.
It's getting colder.
Nag-snow 2 times already.
Oh,
Slight snow.
slight snow. And that means the winter season had started in your area. Nagsimula na ang winter season sa inyong area.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. And hopefully everything is fine with you. And here's another Erev Shabbat. And I'm glad that you can join us and help us. Tulungan tayo na i-explain ang Parsha Vayetze. Vayetze or He Went Out. At ang ating Torah portion ngayong gabi ay nasa Genesis 28:10 to 32:2. Kamusta naman po ang pagbasa nyo sa ating Torah portion, sa inyong pag-review ng ating Torah portion, Elder? Elder Gamino, are you there? Seems like we lost Elder Gamino, and we're gonna wait. So, ang ating Torah portion po ngayong gabi ay nasa Genesis 28. Ang Genesis 28, ito po yung blessed ni Jacob si Isaac, and then he instructed Isaac to go to Haran and find a wife for himself, for Jacob. Dito po sa chapter na ito, alam po natin na yung kanyang kapatid na si Esau ay galit na galit sa kanya at sinabing pagka namatay na ang ating ama, ay ikaw ay aking papatayin. Doon po sa Genesis 29, ito naman po ay yung chapter na si Jacob naman ay na-meet niya na ang kanyang mapapangasawa, supposedly na si Rachel, and siya ay in-entertain ni Laban, ang kuya ni ang ama ni Rachel at ni Leah. Dito po makikita natin na siya ay in-entertain, nakita niya na si Rachel at kanya nagustuhan si Rachel. At ganun din naman, siya ay trinik, or anong tawag dito sa wikang Pilipino, ay dinaya siya ni Laban. At instead na ang mapapawa niya ay si Rachel, ang binigay sa kanya ay si Leah. Ngayon talagang kursunada niya si Leah, si Rachel, ang sabi niya, maglilingkod ako sa iyo ng another 7 years, total of 14 years, para makuha niya rin ang asawa niyang ang kanyang napupusuan na si Rachel. Dito naman po sa 30, ito naman po yung contest na nila, magkapatid si Rachel at saka si Leah, nagko-contest na sila kung sino ang magbibigay ng mga anak kay Jacob. Yung sa 31 naman, sa chapter 31 ng Genesis, ito yung gusto nang aalis na si Jacob sa piling or sa paglilingkod kay Laban, dahil natapos niya na ang kanyang paglilingkod kay Laban. And in 32, a little bit of 32, 3 portions lang, ito yung nakalabas na siya sa lugar ni Laban. And it seems like Elder Gamino has some technical difficulty. So while waiting for him to get back in our studio, uh, magbabasa tayo ng ibang mga passages sa ating Bible. At sisimulan natin sa Genesis 28:11. Genesis 28:11, ganito ang pagkakasabi. And he came to a certain place and stayed there that night because the sun had set. Taking one of the stones at that place, he put it under his head and lay it down in that place to sleep. So, that place, merong sinasabi dito sa ating passage na that place. And the Hebrew word for the place is hamakom. Ngayon, mamaya tatanungin natin si Elder Gamino kung makakabalik na siya sa ating broadcast. And hopefully he is getting back. Is, saan ba itong place na ito sa Torah? So, makikita natin na merong hint ito, yung that place sa Torah. So let's welcome Elder Gamino back and add him to our stream. Elder Gamino, can you hear me?
I hear you already. There is a technical problem.
I know.
For that.
No worries. It's a technical problem happens.
Yeah.
So and thank you for bringing you back to our broadcast. And we are now reviewing. We reviewed Genesis 28 to 32, up to 32:3. And my question to you earlier is, how did you find Genesis chapter 28 to 32? How was your review of it?
Yeah, it's all about Jacob, the son of Isaac.
Hindi ka napapakinggan.
Bakit? Bakit hindi napapakinggan?
Tanong mo nga kay Bo kung napapakinggan.
I can hear you. Yes,
Yeah, okay.
loud and clear.
Yeah, thank you. Well, Genesis 28. This, what you call, Genesis 28, beginning on verse 10, up to Genesis 32, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
And as you said, this is Vayetze. Jacob went out to seek a wife. Okay?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Genesis 28? What are the things that really stand out from your reading on Genesis 28? Ano ang sa pagbasa mo sa kapitulo na Genesis chapter 28, ano ang lesson na nakita mo dito sa chapter 28?
There are many happenings. Like when we went out, he saw a certain place. Then, because the sun did set, that's why he spent the night over there using a stone. And I tried to research, and there are so many things about this. The stone of scones by the late elder Angelo Benedicto Traina, and the secular histories, the destiny of the stone of destiny, where the crown, the king or queen in England, where this stone is been the stone of destiny, it has been put under the coronation chair according to the Celtic history.
Okay.
Then there is a ladder on that night. And I read also when it says is the gate of heaven. I googled again what is gate of heaven. And the Google brought me to San Diego County, San Diego, California, where there is a Heaven's Gate called. by Marshall Applewhite.
Mhm.
And this is not the gate of heaven. It's their presumption of this self-appointed prophet.
Okay.
And like the other weird preachers, weird preachers, he claimed to have the mind of Jesus Christ. So he instead of influencer, he is a manipulator. That's why we need to be careful about these preachers claiming to have the mind of God or the mind of Jesus Christ, claiming that they have talked with the Almighty One. And this leads also to suicide, like the James Jones in Guyana, the David Corres, and many others.
Okay. Okay. How about in chapter 29? Ano ang napulot mo na magandang lesson sa chapter 29 ng Genesis?
Ewan ko kung saan nang umpisa yung 29. Probably when Jacob was already in Haran, the place of what do you call that? The place of Laban, where he saw Rachel. Tignan ko yung 29 sinasabi mo. Genesis 29. Okay. Jacob meets Rachel and is entertained by Laban. Oh, this is the subtitle of Genesis 29.
That's good. What stands out in that chapter for you?
Okay. This chapter, this chapter 40 years. Oh, when they have agreement with Laban that Jacob wants to marry Rachel. Jacob said, you will serve me 7 years for her. So she served for 7 years for Rachel. But in the night of the marriage, on the morning, he found out that it's Leah. So he said, you deceived me. The reason of Laban, it is our custom that the older will be left behind the younger. So I give you Leah. Anyway, you will have Rachel too. So he worked again for 7 years for both Rachel and Leah, including their maidens, because there is Bella and what's the other name? And so there is a competition, rivalry between Rachel and Leah. Because
So
of
that-
bearing children.
So that leads the competition of bearing kids
Yeah.
between Rachel and Leah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So in Genesis 28:11 it says, "And he came to a certain place and stayed there that night because the sun had set.
Yeah.
Taking one of the stones of the place, he put it under his head and lay it down in the place to sleep." And we know that the Hebrew for the place is Hamakom. So they are familiar with this place.
Yeah. Okay.
And the question for you this evening, ang katanungan para sa'yo this evening, saan itong lugar na ito according to the Torah? At ang hint na binigay natin ay Genesis 22:4.
I read Genesis 22 verse 4. But in verse 22, I found this which said, it's in the land of Moriah. It's in the land of Moriah. And I know that Moriah is where they place Abraham offered as a sacrifice Isaac.
So it's most likely they are familiar at this place. It is the same place where the father of Jacob
Yeah.
was intended to be sacrificed.
Yeah.
So maaari itong place na lugar na ito meron siyang meron siyang parang kumbaga sa PTSD, or parang ayaw niya sanang pumunta rito sa lugar na ito Bangungot siguro sa kanya itong lugar na ito, di ba?
Yeah.
Oo.
Yeah.
So, ang tanong is, alam ba natin kung saan yung lugar na ito ngayon?
Yeah. This is in Mount Moriah in Jerusalem, Israel. According Chronicle, 2 Chronicles 3:1, where they offered.
Okay.
It's where they put the Solomon's temple during that time.
Okay.
In the
So
place,
Uh-huh.
if you remember in 2 Samuel 24:24, the threshing floor of Arona is right there in the Holy of Holies.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's
this
it.
place that he fell asleep, this place na merong bato
Yeah.
na sinasabi, ay importante sa panahon ni Yeshua kasi nandito yung templo, ba?
Yeah, yeah.
So malalaman natin kung saan itong lugar na ito ngayon.
Yeah, it's in Jerusalem, Israel, on
Okay.
the Mount of Olives.
Okay. So very very important place itong lugar na ito. Elder Gamino,
Yeah. I'm here.
it's very important sa palagay natin, di ba?
Yeah,
All right.
very important.
In Genesis 28:12,
Yeah.
ganito ang sinasabi, and he dreamed, and behold, there was a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven, and behold, the angels of Yahweh were ascending and descending on it.
Yeah.
Ang katanungan bakit ladder ang ipinakita? And who does this ladder represents that connects the lowly man to the Father Elohim?
Why the ladder? That's the first question. The ladder in Hebrew is ladder is sulam. Sulam. A device for climbing up and down. Yeah. And who does this ladder represent that connects the lowly man to the Father? It's the dabar or the logos in Hebrew, that is Rabbi Yahshua HaMashiach, John 1:1, because I am the word I said in the beginning. So Rabbi Yahshua HaMashiach is the ladder that connect us to the most high of Yahweh.
Oh, that's good, huh? So makikita natin na this ladder, itong ladder na ipinakita or ginamit ng mga anghel sa langit na paakyat sila, it represents Yeshua HaMashiach, and he is the one na nagkukonekta sa atin doon sa Ama sa kataas-taasan. Ang susunod na tanong is, bakit mga anghel?
Okay, the text you have given is Psalms 91:11 and Hebrews 1:14, and they said the holy angels are ministering spirit to help us. They are the ministering spirit to help us.
So, maaring tinutulungan nung panahong iyon ng mga anghel si Jacob sa kanyang pagpunta sa Haran. Okay.
Yeah, before if you have give me time, because I did a deep research. This ladder is in comparison to the DNA ladder.
Oh.
DNA ladder. And 1 Corinthians 15:46, howbeit that was not first which is spiritual, but that which is natural, and afterward that which is spiritual. So meaning to say, the first Adam and the second Adam, the first Adam is natural, earthy, while the second Adam is Yeshua, according to my understanding. And with comparison to the natural and spiritual, or rather we say earthy and heavenly, the DNA ladder, which I read in biochemistry, stand for deoxyribonucleic acid, helix of seed. Seed is 22-23 of the Hebrew dictionary, which is Sarah, that's the natural seed. A self-replicating material that is present in nearly all living organisms as the main constituent of chromosomes. It is the carrier of genetic information. Is it true? Yeah, that is DNA. But there is comparison if you study this biochemistry, what they call RNA, ribonucleic acid. There is no deo, it's a single strand, yeah, of chromosomes. In verse 49 of verse 15:49, it says, we must bear the image of the earthly as well as the image of the heavenly. So, as human being, now, I found out that these people, most of these people are not bringing the image of the Almighty One, so that we will be like Him in His heavenly image. They rely on what they call in Genesis 6:1-4, we know that the angels cohabited with the human being, the females. You can find that in Genesis 6:1-4. Other books like Jubilees 5:1-2, and Jasher chapter 4 verses 18 and 19. This is the amalgamation, hybridization of fallen angels to human females. And this amalgamation have created the angels, the giants, I should say, the giants, the Nephilims. In the Greek mythology, there is what they call the amalgamation or the mixing of genetic of human being and animals, like the sphinx, the centaur. The centaur, as the Greek myth, had arms and torso of a man, body and legs of a horse. That are representing amalgamation, a hybrid between human being and animals. The centaur, the Spencer, it says the lion's body, head of a man. The DNA ladder is fused with technology. Humans have been taught about all sorts of technology. And now this computer, they're offering what they call the artificial intelligence. And so most people now are relying on this computer, which is what do you call that? Artificial intelligence. That's why the Almighty One wants us, I believe, to use our natural intelligence, not the program artificial intelligence. Huh? Humans have been taught about all sorts of technology, artificial intelligence, and hybridization of species, mix other genetics with human DNA. A scientist by the name Paul McCarthy said, the surviving intelligent life form on Earth is not going to be carbon-based. It's going to be a silicon-based. There is a difference between silicon and carbon. I believe when you first came to America, you stay in Silicon Valley. And that's where it says here, silicon is inorganic compound, while carbon elements is the elements of life form. I found out so many things about this DNA ladder compared to the ladder of Jacob.
That's good. You raised up a good observation
Yeah.
about the DNA. And tomorrow, abangan nyo mga kapatid, dahil pareho ang mindset namin ni Elder Gamino.
I hope.
Ang DNA na sinasabi niya ay sa this is deoxyribonucleic acid, and the sequence of that DNA is 10 5 6 5. In the Hebrew character or numbering, it is Yod Hey Wow Hey. 10 5 6 5 or Yod Hey Wow Hey. Hindi kaya ito yung sabi ni Amang Yawi siguro yung iyong DNA na hindi maganda akin nang papalitan ng DNA na tama.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So, abangan nyo bukas dahil kasama yan. Kasama yan
It's very interesting.
sa ating malalaman bukas kung ano itong ladder na equivalent siguro dahil ikaw ay si Jacob, ikaw ay magiging Yasharel
Because
in the future. Yeah.
You know, the DNA ladder is like also a ladder compared
Yes.
to Jacob's ladder.
Yes. And can you hear me clear?
Yeah, I hear.
Okay.
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear. So tomorrow, abangan ng mga ating manunood kung ano itong DNA sequencing
Okay.
that will form the name of Yod
Do you
Hey.
think, Pastor? Huh? Do you think, Pastor, because of the sequencing, biochemistry, and so many things that we are studying? Because that's sometimes they said, little learning is a dangerous thing.
That's correct.
Then I said, if little learning is a dangerous thing, where is the safety of those who have much learning?
Well, we just continue on studying until we come up to the truth. All right, let's move on.
Okay.
Genesis 28:13, and it says, "And behold, Yod-Heh Wah-Heh stood above it and said," the one with the DNA that his name is Yod-Heh Wah-Heh, and he said, "I am Yod-Heh Wah-Heh, the Elohim of Abraham your father, and the Elohim of Isaac. The land on which you lie I will give to you, and to your offspring. Now, etong dalawang katanungan, Elder Gamino. Why did Yahweh, Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh, mention that Abraham is Jacob's father here? Bakit niya sinabing ang tatay mo si Abraham? Alam naman natin ang tatay niya ay si Isaac.
Yeah, I read and reread this verse and I cannot found good answer. Because Abraham is the grandfather of Jacob,
Correct.
the father of Isaac. But here it says Abraham your father, doesn't say your grandfather. Probably in the Hebrew mindset, grandfather and father is the same.
Yeah, you're close. You're close. You are close. Because tomorrow, bukas, malalaman nyo. Malalam.
Suspense.
Ganun din ang sinabi dun kay Laban. Ang tatay mo na si Nahor. Your father Nahor. Sinabi kay Rachel. Right?
Yeah.
Ang sinabi kay Rachel, ang tatay mo na si Nahor. Same pattern ang ginamit. Bukas malalaman ng mga nanonood.
Very interesting.
Number 2 na katanungan. Jacob received the blessing from Isaac, his father, under false pretense. What was Yahweh doing into Jacob in this passage?
I don't know. I cannot figure out the exact answer.
Yeah.
So,
sa mga nanonood, ang promise na kauna-unahang binigay ay kay Abraham. Ang promise niya mang Yahweh ay hindi napuputol at hindi nagbabago. So, dito ngayon, kay Jacob, kaya ang blessing na na-receive ni Isaac ay under false pretense dahil ang gusto talaga ni Isaac ay si Esau ang maging panganay. Diba?
Yeah.
Kaya parang dinaya ni Jacob ang kanyang tatay na si Isaac na kunin yung blessing. Pero dito sa passage na ito ay si Yahweh mismo ang nagsasabi na yung pangako ko sa iyong ama, dito, your father Abraham, sa iyong ama na si Abraham ay itutuloy ko. Let's continue. Bukas
teka muna.
Yeah.
Teka. Yung twin, yung kambal, minsan may tinanong ako. Sabi ko, sinong panganay? Yung lumabas na una o yung huli? Sabi niya man yung huli ang panganay. Bakit pinauuna niya yung bunso Dahil mas panganay siya, pinauuna niya.
Maganda rin na rason yan.
Kaya siguro, si Esau nga ang panganay. Pero it is not in the lineage. Yeah.
Kung nanood yung mga nanonood ngayong gabi, nung Sabado, sinagot natin yan, na si Yahweh mismo nagsabi, doon pa lang sa sinapupunan, yung bunso ang mangunguna doon sa panganay. So, alam na natin ang sagot.
Tama.
Sagot dyan. Alright, itutuloy natin. Sa Genesis 28:16-17, ganito ang nasusulat. Then Jacob awoke from his sleep and said, Surely Yahweh is in this place, and I did not know it. And he was afraid and said, How awesome is this place! This is none other than the house of Elohim, and this is the gate of heaven. So, dalawang tanong ulit para sa iyo, Elder Gamino. What is the Hebrew word for the house?
Bet.
Bait. Yeah. Bait. And when he said the gate of heaven, what do you think he means of this? When Jacob, nung sinabi ni Jacob na this place is other than the house of the Beit El, and this is the gate of heaven.
Kaya nga nasabi ko sa iyo na little learning is a dangerous thing.
Mm-hmm.
I try again to Google and find out what is the gate of heaven, and there are so many studies about this. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I come across a Marshall Applegate,
Mm.
which is a congregation is called Heaven's Gate. Called. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
eh, ewan ko kung anong ibig sabihin yung gate of heaven, kung nasaan.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. It
Maganda.
must be the opposite of the gate of hell.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yan ang kabaliktaran. Bukas ulit, pahapyaw na malalaman ng mga kwan. Kanina, sinagot ni Elder Gamino, tama, etong Mount Moriah na place kung saan natulog si Jacob at merong bato doon, ay alam din natin kung sino yung bato. Di ba? Sabi ni Elder Gamino, most likely, the likelihood of it, na nasa Jerusalem itong lugar na ito ay it's very close. Alam nyo ba na sa Revelation, merong mga gates na papasukan din ng mga tao pagpunta nila dun sa bagong new heaven and new earth. Ang new heaven and new earth, mga kapatid, wala po dun sa alapahap. Nandito po sa ibababa po ng Ama ang new heaven and new earth. Alam niyo po ba na merong mga gates na papasukan ng mga tao? Sa Revelation.
Yeah.
Ngayon, maghahanap ka ngayon kung saan kang gate papasok. So, he said, the gate of heaven, bukas. Bukas, malalaman natin.
Bukas, palaging bukas.
Now, here it is. Another passage.
Yeah.
Genesis 29:16 to 17. Ganito ang pagkakabasa sa salitang Ingles. Now, Laban had two daughters. The name of the older was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. Leah's eyes were weak, but Rachel was beautiful in form and appearance. So the question for Elder Gamino again tonight is spiritually speaking, how did Jacob end up with Leah?
Yeah.
Spiritually speaking.
Your two questions is at the same setting. Only the first one is spiritual.
Yes.
And the second one you say
One is materially speaking. Yes.
materialistic.
Okay.
Well, this concerns about Leah, as I have told you. I read about the stone of scone. The stone that was placed there, according to the Celtic one, Liafail. He said Liafail. If you read from left to right and right to left, it's the same. Liafail. Yeah. And you said spiritually, he went out with Leah, and materially, I don't know how can I explain to the people. He ended up after 7 years
Yeah.
of servitude.
Some thought probably you and the audience will probably think about this thing.
Well, tomorrow I will compare my findings in your explanation.
No, I probably will explain it now. So spiritually, Jacob is the firstborn, according to Yahweh Elohim, ever since they were in the womb with Esau. Leah is also the first daughter, the firstborn of Laban.
Yeah.
And they are matched with each other, spiritually speaking. Materially speaking, because Laban is so materialistic, he wants to trick Jacob in all things. like in the daughters that he will give to Jacob, and also the animals that he will give to Jacob. Materially speaking,
Mm.
Leah was given first because, as we know, she was the firstborn. Also, Laban wants to have more years of servitude from Jacob. Think about it. Think about it. All right, last verse that we will be looking at and chapter. This is chapter 31. Chapter
Yeah.
31, and this is the time that Jacob is already secretly planning to depart from uh, Laban. This is the time that he already got a lot of animals, because he also tricked the animals in looking to a color so that they will be speckled color.
Yeah.
So the questions, and there were three questions in here. Why did Jacob consult his wives before leaving for Canaan? Bakit pa siya kumonsulta sa kanyang mga asawa bago umalis papuntang Kanaan? Iiwan na yung Haran.
So that he can arrive to the proper decision.
Okay.
Upon hearing all the opinions of his wife,
Mm-hmm.
he can arrive. Because the best decision is when you gather all the facts. Not
Mm.
only, that's why I said once, if you only, if you do not hear others' opinion, you are a slave of your own opinion.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you must consider opinion of others. Evaluate if they are true, accept if it's true, and discard or leave it out if you will not agree.
Mm. So siguro magandang gawain ito na baka meron tayong mga desisyon na gagawin, dapat kumonsulta sa mga asawa.
Not all the time.
Not all the...
Kasi si Adam naman, sa Cain na naman. Eh, kaya the husband, wife should understand also the part of the husband. Yeah.
So it's always a vice versa.
Yeah.
Number two is, what are some ideas explaining why Rachel stole Laban's idols? Ano mga idea meron doon sa na bakit si Rachel ay ninakaw niya ang mga Diyos-Diyusan ni Laban?
Ang isang idea, because she was trained that his father have her father have an idol.
Mhm.
Probably this is a good woman.
Mm.
But in contrast to Abraham, as I have read, the father Terah is also an idol maker, but he is masked. To prove if these idols are good, can do good for them.
Mhm.
One idea, that's why he stole, probably save them along the way. Parang anting-anting, kaya marami ngayon mga secret names. Maroon siya lang medalya, sinusulatan nila ng tetragrammaton.
Mm.
Yan ang idea naman nila. Kaya probably this is what happened with Rachel. That's why he stole the idol of her father.
Okay. So, isang idea siguro 'yan.
Yeah.
Malalang. Bukas madadagdagan ang ating mga explanation kung bakit siguro ninakaw ni Rachel ang mga Diyos-Diyosan ng kanyang tatay. Isang idea, dadagdag ko lang, baka malaman dahil dito sa mga Diyos-Diyosan, kung hindi niya kukunin, baka malaman ni Laban kung nasan sila. Hahabulin ni Laban sila eh. Kaya sabi siguro ni Rachel, nanakawin ko nga itong mga Diyos-Diyosan para hindi ito makapagsalita.
Kumbaga sa ngayon, kinuha niyo yung cellphone, walang GSP na.
Wala na yung GPS. Yeah. Isa sa mga idea kung bakit kinuha ni Rachel. Pero meron pang mga ibang idea na nandoon sa mga nasusulat. Ang pangatlo at huling katanungan ngayong gabi, Elder Gamino, how does Rachel's theft of Laban's gods foreshadow the history of Israel? Paano yung pagnanakaw ni Rachel ng mga Diyos-Diyosan ng kanyang amang si Laban ay umaaninag sa history ng bansang Israel?
Idolater naman kasi yung mga bansang Israel. They are, that's why there are those who have been broken from the olive tree, so that the Gentiles will be grafted in. And there is also a lesson to those who are grafted in, that if the natural branch can be able to be broken out, how much more to the grafted one? Idolater kasi yung always, they are always telling them that you must sirain mo yung pag pumunta ka sa bansang nasakop mo, sirain mo lahat ng mga idol worship, the Shera, pero lalo namang ginagawa ng mga tao yan. Ayun.
Maganda ang kwan. So yung sa pagpunta nila sa lupang pangako na ipinangako sa amang Abraham, may mga tao na nagbubulsa ng iba't ibang Diyos-Diyosan at gusto nilang dalhin dun sa lupang pangako na dapat ay hindi ginagawa ng tao. Maganda. Ano pang yung huling mensahe sa gabing ito, Elder Gamino? At kausapin mo ang ating mga tagapanood at tingnan mo sila sa iyong camera at kausapin mo ang ating mga tagapanood para masabi mo ang iyong gustong sabihin sa kanila sa ating Torah portion insight na Vayetze. And he went out.
Mga minamahal na taga-pakinig sa programang ito, tayo po ay inaanyayahan namin na sumali dito so that you will expand your understanding. Share us what you have learned and accept what we are telling. If it is, to your opinion, it's the right one. And aside from that, kaya nga minsan nung nangangaral ako, sabi niya, lahat ba yan, Elder, ay dapat na malaman upang maligtas ka? Dahil marami ang dapat na alamin eh. Kaso nga, yun lang 10 utos, marami nang pumalpak kung gagawin mong elimination. Yung una, gawin mong mag-eliminate ka para magang ang natitira na lang sa elimination, kumbaga sa beauty pageant, yung mga secret na yun, dahil ang claim natin from the first to the last, parang gusto nating tuparin yun, susundin, gano'n. Kaya nga itong pinagtapusan ng pag-aaral namin, at ang tanong lang dito ay Laban at ang kanyang anak na si Rachel. Pero nung magtagpo si Laban at saka nung habulin ni Laban si Jacob kasama kasi nung dumami, yung unang-una nung dumami ng kanyang kwan, sirbihan niya si Laban ng 14 years, 7 kay Rachel, 7 naman kay Leah. Pagkatapos 6 years, yun lang ang kanyang kwan, yun lang siguro ang kanyang hinangad dun sa 14 years yung asawa. Dahil yung kay Rachel sana, dinaya siya. Dito pumapasok yung sinasabing, what you sow, you reap. Dahil mandaraya rin si Jacob Kaya, he was given the right dosage upang matikman niya. Kaya, yung mga tinatawag na mandaraya, kung nangyari sa kanila, tama-tama. Kaya nandaya nun Kaya nung habulin niya si Jacob, siguro may masamang kaisipan. Unang-una sa sinabi natin, at saka 6 na taon, yung mayroon na siyang ganti o bayad, yung mga hayop, yun ang mga hayop nila noon. Kaya dito naman, ang ginawa naman ni Jacob, ito na naman ang pumapasok sa isip ng mga tao. Kasi kung kainumin ni Jacob yung mga hayop, naglalagay siya ng mga strike doon. Kumbaga sa yun ang yung ano bang English doon o kaya Tagalog nung yung ano yun, nagninawan sa Ilocano, yung nagninawan. Kagaya nung yung ibig sabihin, ano ang gustong-gusto niya nung siya'y magkakanak, nung mabubuntis siya. Yung mga babae, may gusto-gusto siya. May gusto niyang mangga. Kahit hindi panahon ng mangga. Kaya mahirapan yung asawa niya. Kaya nung magbubuntis yung mga hayop, naglagay naman si Juan. Hindi Jacob ng mga stripe. Kaya yun ang sinabi niya. Maganda rin ang pinili niya Dahil kung ang pinili niya yung puti, baka kulay-kulayan naman nilaban yung mga puti para na naman sa kanya. Kaya nung dumami, nagagalit yung mga anak ni Laban. Bakit ganyan? Kaya ngayon, nung habulin niya, ibinarningan naman ni Abayawe. Sabi niya, huwag kang gagawa ng masama kay Jacob. Kaya nung magkita sila, ay nagyakapan sila bilang magkapatid. Nagkaroon sila ng tinatawag na kasunduan. Yan naman. Doon sa Galaad at naglagay sila ng mispa. Yun ang tinatawag nila ngayon na mispa benediction, the famous mispa benediction. Ito nabasa ko lang kay the late elder dad. Hindi. Try na. Ang sabi niya, mispa means, may Abayawe keep your hands out of my pocket when my back is turned. Huwag mong ilagay yung kamay mo sa aking bulsa kung ako'y nakatalikod. Kaya naglagay sila ng kasunduan. Kasi maraming mga tao ngayon, they are trickery. You are in good faith, but sometimes, siguro maganda rin ang usapan ninyo, pero as time goes by, nandun yung kaisipan niya na mandaya. But
alright.
as I have said, what you sow, you reap.
That's good. These are really good points. Salamat ulit, Elder Gamino, sa iyong mga insights sa Parsha Vayetze. Sa uulitin po ulit at yung sinasabi na may mishpa, next Torah portion yun. Maganda ulit na.
I'm also requesting some of the elders, if they have time, if they can find out this platform, so that we have a good discussion, share with each other, because I cannot research all these things. Like Pastor John, I catch up so many things about him. And I do hope that you can share also, especially the old-timer elders, wherever they are. You are welcome to this platform, and I hope to see you next time. Yahweh
All
bless
right.
us. Okay.
Yahweh bless us and Shabbat Shalom to everyone. See you guys tomorrow as I dig deeper into Parsha Vayetze, and I'm sure to Yahweh's help that you guys are gonna learn a whole lot, and we will tie it up to what really these things will give us as a lesson in our journey towards that promised land. So shalom everyone. See you
Shalom.
guys. See you brothers and sisters tomorrow. Good night.
Good night.